Happy Saturday, North America. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Katie Holt-Larson, President of North America. And what a great way to start out our Saturday, welcoming one of our scientists, one of our advisory board members, Dr. Christian Drapeau. How are you?
Very good. Nice. Pleasure to be with you.
So I know you're not a medical doctor, but you have a master's in neurophysiology. You're also a stem cell scientist. You've been doing this research for 25 years. It's absolutely amazing and fascinating. Studying stem cells, studying how all of these ingredients work well to help repair our body. And we are for those of you who are just getting to know Christian Drapeau, maybe this is your first webinar, you don't know anything about Revita BLU yet at this time, you are going to be completely enthralled to hear more about how our own body, our own repair system can increase its ability to release stem cells. And with that, welcome Christian Drapeau.
Very great pleasure to be here, Katie.
So how are you? You're at your own home, is that right?
That's right.
Sheltering in place. You live in Texas, don't you?
I live in Austin, Texas. That's right.
Texas, okay.
And, yeah.
So your world is different. You're usually traveling all over the world. You're all over the place, and now you're working from home. How are you doing?
I mean, I love it, because when I'm not traveling, then I always work from home. So it's not a big difference, but it's great to be at home. There was so much traveling last year and the past few months. So I love it.
Right. Well, you're probably able to do some additional research, some study. You're probably finding some great new things you're going to share with us. So excited.
That's right. That gives me a great time to dive back into the research, which was very much needed. So I enjoy it a lot.
Wonderful. Well, we're so happy to have you on this series. And again, for all of you who might be joining us for the first time, welcome to our Why JEUNESSE series. This stands for Wellness and Health for You. And what we know is at JEUNESSE, we call ourselves Generation Young. And our mission is about helping people to look and feel younger and to take care of their bodies in a way that that we can all live young as long as we possibly can. I know Christian is committed to that. He's incredibly healthy and fit. I'm committed to that as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why we love working with JEUNESSE, at JEUNESSE, for JEUNESSE, is because this is the mission of JEUNESSE. And so this series is super fun because what we're doing is inviting our doctors, our scientists to come and talk to you directly and talk about the science behind our products, to talk about how our products can help you maintain a healthy body, to help you look and feel young, and really take care of yourself and take your own health to another level. So with that today, we've invited Christian Drapeau. He's going to be talking to us about the science behind Revita BLU. And this, honestly, I mean, I take all of our products. I was just telling Christian that I have a Revita BLU and a Nara right here that I've been drinking. I love all of our products, but man, I just absolutely love Revita BLU. I think it tastes phenomenal, and I take it every single day. So I'm absolutely invested in it, believe in it. I've seen the difference in my own energy levels, in my own health as a result of taking this product. So with that, as Christian and I were working on this series, Christian decided that he wanted to create a video because there's so much great science and there's so many great things to say. And so he really wanted to articulate that really well. So he has actually created a video for us today. So we're going to take a moment to watch Christian sharing with us. So he won't be live. It's going to be a video, but we're going to be watching him sharing the science. And then we're going to come back after the video and do a Q&A with Christian and talk about, what's coming next. Before we go to that video, I do want to share with you a promotion that's coming up for Revita BLU. Super excited, Christian, to be announcing this because this product is so phenomenal. And really, we want to get this into the hands of all of our field members, all of our customers, all around the world for an amazing price. So we've decided that we were going to offer us a 4-day flash sale. We're going to offer a buy two, get two for Revita BLU. So you can see it starts on the 16th and it ends on the 19th of April. And it's in the United States, it's $171.95. You get 2 boxes of Revita BLU plus 2 for free. And it's 90 CV and 3 travel points. It's also available on the customer site. So you can also offer this. If you're a distributor, you can offer it to your customers. If you're a customer watching this, you can buy this as well. So, and both distributors and customers pay that same exact price. Super easy. All you have to go is click and buy two, get two. Canada, we also have this available for you, April 16th through 19th, $226.15 in Canadian. Again, buy two, get two, and it's also available to your customers. So we really are excited about this promotion because we know how much people who take this product love it. And so I wanted to share this before we go to your video, Christian, because I really want people to know that they have an amazing ability to get this product for a great price.
This is great.
So with that, let's go ahead. Let's watch Christian's video. And once we do it, we'll come right back and we'll have some great questions for him.
Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about the Youth Enhancement System, the YES system. And instead of talking about each one of these products separately, one after the other one, I would like to focus on the products that have a demonstrated physiological effect. Not that the other products are not relevant or important, but by talking about these products, those that have a clear physiological effect, then we can also talk about the synergy of these different products taken together, because I do believe that this is one of the great secrets of the products, Jeunesse products that are part of the Youth Enhancement System. And to talk about these products, first I would like to talk about the greater context of human health. There are three different pillars to human health, three aspects that we absolutely have to take care of if we want to reach optimal health. Number one, we need to protect the body. The body is sort of attacked, if I could say, by various elements from the environment, from our own body. It's essentially, it is subjected to time, to degradation. As we lose cells, we need to renew the cells that are being lost. So the body is in a constant process of renewal. And in order to renew the body, repair the body, then we need nutrients. So we need to properly nourish the body. So let's look at these three aspects separately. First, let's talk about the first aspect, protection. What do we protect ourselves against? There are many things that we need to protect ourselves against, but really the main one here is to protect ourselves against free radicals. And that's the reason why we need antioxidants. But where are these free radicals coming from? We oftentimes think that free radicals come from the outside world. We're subjected by oxidants coming from outside, sort of attacking us. And we really need to realize that the main producers of free radicals are parts of our own body. For example, the first one is cellular respiration. In the body, we have different organs and tissues that are all doing one specific function for the rest of the body. So the brain thinks for the body, the heart pumps the blood for the whole body, the lung takes on oxygen to deliver oxygens to the whole body, all the cells of the body. The digestive system extracts nutrients to then distribute them to all the cells of the body. But there's one function that is delegated to every single cell of the body. Each cell is responsible for that function, and it is energy. There is not one organ in the body responsible for making energy. Each and every cell of the body is making its own energy. And it's doing so a little bit like you would heat your house. When you heat your house, you take a source of hydrocarbon that can be natural gas, it can be wood, you burn it or you oxidize it and it produces flame. So you harvest that heat to heat your house, and there's a chimney to take all the pollution or the residues out of it, the pollution out of your house. So the cell does exactly the same thing. It takes hydrocarbon, namely sugar, it oxidizes it, which produces energy. There's a whole energetic machinery in the cell to capture this energy, and then the cell can use this energy to do everything that the cell needs to do. But there are debris from this process that the cell also needs to eliminate. But the cell does not have a chimney to just eliminate them. So they remain around and they need to be neutralized. So this is what we call cellular respiration. And these are essentially free radicals. So each of the cell needs to have its own antioxidant capacity to remove these free radicals. So really, each cell of your body is by far the biggest producer of free radicals in the body. Then second is your immune system. Whenever you have an immune reaction, so you come across a virus or a bacteria, no matter what, when your immune system is activated, one of the ways that it uses to kill bacteria or virally infected cells or cancer cells, it's to get close to the cell and to release free radicals that will kill the bacteria. So an immune system that is functioning normally or overactive is probably the second main producer of free radicals in the body. From there, inflammation. Anytime you have inflammation in your body, and as we age past 40, 45 years old, we get up in the morning and there's always, a little bit of a pain or discomfort in various places of the body, various joints, some soreness. Well, as we start to develop these locations, these foci of inflammation, all of these are also producing free radicals. So as we age, the production of free radicals in the body increases significantly. So just simple aging is another cause of free radical production in the body. Then from there, physical activity. I'm not talking about just a walk in the park, but if you exercise a lot, if you do some strenuous physical activity, you also produce quite a significant amount of free radicals. And then finally, pollution. So things that are coming from outside of you. And we're referring to here to a lot of things. It will be too long to go through all of them, but it's pollution from water, from the food, all the food additives. Many of them are producers of free radicals, pollution in the air. There's a study that was published a number of years ago that documented that if we take a blood sample of just about anybody today, we will find up to 300 chemicals that were not present in the bloodstream of our great-grandfathers. And it does not mean that all these compounds are antioxidants or lead to the production of free radicals in the body, but many of them, that's what they do. They do lead to a certain level of oxidative stress in the body. So we are subjected by a certain level of oxidative stress simply because we are alive. And that's really the main point here that I want to drive. It's not exceptional to have excessive free radical production. It's not because we're exposed to things that are unusual or pollution or some exceptional circumstances. Just the fact of being healthy, alive, and active, just by itself, this is already one of the main generator of free radicals in the body. Now, why do we need to eliminate these free radicals? What are they doing in the body? First, there's a clear link between free radicals and cardiovascular health. We won't have the time here to go into the details, but essentially, when we talk about how cholesterol, for example, or lipids in the bloodstream can be one of the clear marker of cardiovascular health, the reason is that a lot of these lipids and cholesterol is susceptible to be oxidized. And it is when cholesterol is oxidized that it triggers the whole chain, the whole cascade that will lead eventually to cardiovascular problems. So the triggering point here, the terrain, the circumstances that allow the development of these cardiovascular problems is oxidative stress in the body or in the bloodstream. Second, if there are areas of the body that are subjected to free radicals for long periods of time, this has become an accepted underlying cause for the development of tumors or cellular dysregulation, to just talk about it in very general terms. And oftentimes this is because free radicals can also lead to DNA mutation. It can lead to mutation as cells divide and as the DNA is being duplicated. Another aspect that is rarely talked about is that free radicals can affect membrane, cellular membrane. A cell membrane may look, when we just look at it without really having this knowledge in detail, that it's just an envelope around a cell. But it is not. The cellular membrane is a very, very complex structure, very, very active structure that is responsible for receiving signals from the outside, communicating with cells, releasing compounds to communicate with cells, sensing different aspects from the environment. But in order to do so, the cell membrane must have a very, very specific fluidity, a very specific texture, for lack of a better term, and that can be affected also by free radicals. It's not linked to an actual disease, but it's just linked to an overall lack of optimal health and optimal functioning in all the cells of your body. And we need to remember, we will keep saying it throughout this discussion, but we cannot say it enough. Health is taking place at the cellular level. You don't have a strong heart. You have strong heart cells that will give you a strong heart. You don't have a strong liver. You have strong liver cells that will give you strong liver health. So health is essentially at the cellular level. So if free radicals are allowed to damage cell membranes, then it can really affect your overall health because it's taking place at the cellular level. And all these effects of free radicals in various aspects of human health is what has led to the general understanding of the free radical theory of aging. We age because we are increasingly exposed to free radical, and we may not have all the tools to eliminate these free radicals. So that's what antioxidants will do. So we'll come back to that later. So first, to protect yourself. Now, as you're exposed to free radicals or just time in general, one of the things that happens is that we lose cells every day. So how can we replace these cells in order to stay healthy? And that is the role of stem cells in the body. So let's talk about this phenomenon a little bit, because this is a novel discovery in the whole world of health and wellness, and in the world of medicine as well. So stem cells traditionally have always been known to be precursors to blood cells. They are the precursors to white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. But historically, they were known to just become blood cells. They're not known to become other types of cells in the body. So in the early 2000s, scientists started to observe that stem cells indeed have the ability of becoming other types of cells in the body. And that was really a breakthrough discovery in medicine. Stem cells were shown to have the ability of becoming brain cells, heart cells, liver cells, pancreatic cells, skin cells, joint cells, essentially cells of every tissue and organs of the body. And they constitute actually the natural repair system of the body. And here's how it works. Anytime there is an injury somewhere in the body, or something is just not functioning properly, the area of the body that is affected will release compounds that will reach the bone marrow in the pelvis and the rib cage and the sternum and the skull. This is where the bone marrow is essentially located in an adult, and then will trigger the release of stem cells from the bone marrow. Within 3 to 5 days after an injury, the number of stem cells in circulation will increase anywhere between 3 to 10 times. Now, these stem cells don't know where to go, so as they circulate everywhere in the body, starting on the second day, the affected tissue will locally release very specific compounds that will attract stem cells to that area. And when stem cells circulate into the fine blood vessels in the tissue that is affected, where you have the injury, these compounds will trigger the migration of stem cells out of the blood into the tissue. And when the stem cells lands into the tissue that is affected, it will continue to follow the signal to the site of the injury, where stem cells, upon contact with cellular debris of that tissue, will then multiply and become cells of that tissue. So this essentially constitutes the natural repair system of the body. In this whole process, what science is telling us is that the biggest link is the link between the number of stem cells in circulation and health. More stem cells in circulation means that more stem cells are available to participate to the process of tissue repair. Here's one example of a study where people with a heart attack showed up at the hospitals. Doctors quantified the number of stem cells in their blood and then separated all these people in two groups. The group of people who recovered very well and resumed an active lifestyle and a productive life, and the other group were those who did not recover very well, remained in the hospital, or simply passed away. So if we look at the number of stem cells in the bloodstream of the individuals present in these two groups, we can see that people who did not recover very well had on average half the number of stem cells compared to the people who recovered much better. So essentially, more stem cells in circulation simply means that you can repair better. Two people with the same problem, the one with more stem cells will recover better. So if more stem cells in circulation means that the body can repair better, then it begs the question, in the people who cannot recover as well because they have fewer stem cells, if we have a means of increasing the number of stem cells in circulation, can we help them repair better? And the answer is yes. There are many studies showing that if you can put more stem cells in circulation, the body has the ability, it's innate ability, it's the repair system. The body has the ability of using these stem cells to enhance tissue repair. Now, while stem cells do constitute the natural repair system of the body, something else was observed, is that in the absence of any problem, when nothing is broken, stem cells still play a crucial role as the natural renewal system of the body, meaning that every day we lose cells, and every day we need to replace the cells that are being lost if we want to simply remain healthy. So there's a direct link between the number of stem cells in circulation and healthy aging. We We start to develop problem as we age because there's a decline in the number of stem cells as we age. The bone marrow, the red marrow that makes stem cells, slowly transform into yellow marrow as we age. And there's a point where the number of stem cells, as it declines in the bloodstream, crosses a threshold where we can no longer compensate for the daily cellular loss. And that's when the problem starts to develop. So as we age, having fewer stem cells in circulation is one of the underlying factor that leads to loss of health or the development of various problems. Or stated differently, if we can put more stem cells in circulation, then we support this natural ability of the body to stay healthy. Here's one example, and we can use many, regarding erectile function. Here's the number of stem cells in the bloodstream of people who have complained of poor erectile function, and the number of stem cells in the bloodstream of healthy individuals. If we look at the average, we can see that people who complained of poor erectile function have on average about half the number of stem cells compared to healthy controls. Now, if we take all these individuals and establish the International Index of Erectile Function and plot this against the number of stem cells in circulation, we can see a direct relationship. So there's a direct relationship between the number of stem cells in circulation and erectile function. The same relationship exists for vascular health, pancreatic health, liver health, lung health, the brain, the skin, virtually every aspect of human health. So more stem cells in circulation means that your body is more capable of staying healthy as you age, to age healthily. Third conclusion, there are things in the body that can prevent the ability of stem cells to do their job properly, and it's systemic inflammation and oxidative stress. So anything we can do to reduce oxidative stress and systemic inflammation will help the natural role of stem cells in the body. Other point, telomere health. If we have the ability of maintaining telomere length, the strongest leverage that we will have is on new cells. The cells that were stem cells yesterday that have just become tissue cells, these are the cells with the longest telomere. If we can have an effect on telomere health and to maintain telomere length in these new cells, then we get much more leverage as to the longevity of these cells and how they can contribute to overall health. So when we talk about a product like Finity, then as a synergy with Revita BLU, then this is where we can talk about one of these very interesting synergy. And lastly, when we understand that one stem cells can become several thousand tissue cells, then as we increase the number of stem cells in circulation by 3, 4, 5, 6 million, that means up to 6 to 24 billion tissue cells. So there's an enormous magnification, amplification taking place in the tissue. So that means an enormous metabolic demand. So we need all the nutrients that these cells need to function and duplicate and replicate properly. And this leads us to the third point, proper nourishment. We need to provide all the cells of the body everything that they need to function properly. And this means vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals are cofactors, aside from their actual role, minerals into the structure of the body. I mean, calcium for bones and things like this. The most important role of vitamins and minerals in the body is as cofactors to enzymes. Enzymes are a class of proteins in the body responsible for biochemical reaction in the body. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of enzymes in the body, all doing one specific action that is essential for not only your optimal health, but your very survival. So you need these enzymes, and to function properly, they need vitamins and minerals. That's why we need vitamins and minerals. So we need to provide all of them for all the cells of the body to do their job properly. They need amino acids because most of your body is made out of protein. You need to make proteins as you duplicate tissue, repair tissue, rebuild tissue, and simply maintain tissues. So you need amino acids. And you need one specific class of amino acid in order to make one specific type of tissue, which is collagen. Because there are two different types of proteins in the body. There are tensile proteins, proteins that need to be strong, like the proteins in your muscle. When you try to lift something, you want to be able to lift it. You don't want these muscles to stretch. On the other end, you have the skin. You want your skin to be flexible and to stretch. You want your body to have flexibility. Tendons, you want them to be able to stretch. They are some sort of a shock absorber, if you want, of your muscles. So you need to have these flexible tissues in your body. And in order to do this, you need to be able to produce flexible protein, which is collagen. Collagen is a protein that its structure is a little bit like a coil that gives them flexibility. So you need that into your skin and all your connective tissue. But where do you find these amino acids? You find them where they are, which is in the skin. But when is it that we have skin for meal in our food? We never eat skin, so we grow deficient in these very specific amino acids that are playing a crucial role in the makeup of collagen. So we need to compensate our diet and add these amino acids in order to be able to rebuild all the tissues that are necessary to have a healthy body. So now let's take back all of this and reposition all of our product within this general context. So let's first start with the skin, because Luminesse was the first product that was launched by JEUNESSE. So if we looked at the central product here, Luminesse by itself contains a lot of nutrients for the skin, contains antioxidant production for the skin, but the main effect of Luminesse is that it contains peptides. Peptides whose role is to coordinate and support and modulate the effect of stem cells. So as you apply Luminesse on the skin, these peptides will play various roles. They will attract stem cells from the skin, from the blood circulation into the skin. Then when these stem cells are into the skin, they need to proliferate. These peptides will support the proliferation of stem cells, their transformation into cells of the skin, and then supporting the maturation of the skin. We need to understand that the skin comes from the bone marrow. Stem cells leave the bone marrow, go into the skin, form a layer of stem cells in the skin that migrate to the surface of the skin, becomes keratinocytes, and these keratinocytes, as they mature to the surface, they die and they flake off. So there's a constant renewal of cells in the skin in order to maintain a healthy skin. If you don't have enough stem cells getting to the skin, then your skin cannot renew as effectively as it could. So that's how Luminesse really work. Now, if you use this with Revita BLU, so Revita BLU will release stem cells. These stem cells in the bloodstream now will be attracted by Luminesse. Just Revita BLU by itself, it's not rare that people start taking Revita BLU and people are asking, what are you doing? Your skin looks much more radiant. It's because your skin is one of the largest organs of the body. It renews very rapidly. So it does utilize a lot of stem cells. So as you put more stem cells in circulation, more stem cells are available to go into the skin. But now you apply Luminesse and you amplify this migration of stem cells in the skin. If you take these two products with Reserve, by reducing overall oxidative stress, you allow stem cells to migrate more easily into the skin. Now add to this NARA and you provide the building blocks that the skin will need in order to build new collagens, which is a natural constituent of a young and healthy skin. And as all these cells are duplicating in the skin and doing their role, they need all the vitamins and minerals that the body needs needs to function properly. So you can see how all these products are working together. Now, as we talk about overall health, then it is Revita BLU that takes center stage. By supporting the natural release of stem cells from the bone marrow, Revita BLU helps support the very natural process of tissue repair and tissue renewal. But if we can reduce oxidative stress in the bloodstream, we also facilitate the ability of stem cells of identifying and migrating into the tissues that are in need of repair and renewal. So Reserve will not only bring overall benefits by reducing oxidative stress, and also because resveratrol is good to support the immune system, to support stem cell proliferation in the body, but by reducing oxidative stress, it also supports the effect of Revita BLU. So these two products have a very, very interesting synergy. Now, when stem cells reach tissue, they need to proliferate, so they need all the vitamins and minerals that the body needs. So we have this with AMPM. It also provides DNA protection, DNA repair. So as these stem cells are duplicating into tissue cells, then the AMPM can support this natural process. As stem cells are duplicating, repairing, maintaining tissues, the entire body is made of connective tissue where we need collagen. So again, NARA will help this overall process, but we do not only have collagen as protein. We have muscles, we have other types of proteins, so we also need the amino acids that we have in Zenfuse. Likewise, as we talked about before, when a stem cell becomes a tissue cells, then these newly emerging tissue cells are the cells with the longest telomere. The effect, the benefit of maintaining telomere length is going to be much more important if we do this with new cells. So as we release new stem cells with Revita BLU and increase the number of new tissue cells, this is where Finity starts to have a very nice leverage. So Finity is good, but taking Finity with Revita BLU, we get an amazing synergy. And the last product here that we have in terms of synergy is Reveal. Reveal is essentially Luminesse for the scalp. So the same peptides that will support the natural process of repair in the skin will support the natural repair process of the scalp. So as we attract stem cells from the circulation to the scalp, then these stem cells will recognize the terrain, which is the scalp, and one of the natural functions of the scalp is to make hair. So it will support the differentiation of these stem cells into follicle stem cells, hair follicle stem cells, or will simply secrete factors that will awaken this very natural function of the skin. So there's no miracle here. All we do is that we give back to the body its very natural function. We support the natural function of the body. So by putting more stem cells in circulation, bringing them with Reveal to the scalp and with other compounds in Reveal to support this natural process in the skin, then we can help grow or rejuvenate the scalp. So this is how these products are working together. So my final message here is simply to say that if you have taken any one of these products before and you have not obtained all the benefits that you would have liked to obtain, I'm saying go back to these products, but couple them with other products. You've tried Reserve, now try Reserve with Revita BLU. You've tried Luminesse, now try Luminesse with Reserve and Revita BLU. You've tried Finity before, now try Finity with Revita BLU. Play with these products, because this is one of the greatest untold secrets of JEUNESSE's products, and it's the fact that these products have an amazing synergy, but this synergy, only you can experience it. So try it, play with it, and see what these products can do for you. Thank you.
Christian, thank you for taking the time to create that video. Gosh, I don't even know, in the last couple of years, I've heard you present so many times, and every single time I hear you present, I learn something new. And so it's just fascinating to learn more about our own repair system, about stem cells. And maybe I'll start with that. As a scientist and getting your master's in neurophysiology, what made you really attracted to the stem cell, the area of stem cells?
I mean, it's the same answer, I believe, for every person today studying stem cells. It's a new field. It literally emerged in the early 2000s, and anybody who started to be interested into it just sort of somewhat as pioneers started to see the potential in it and started to get interested in it. So regardless of what was the field that anybody was involved with, seeing the potential of stem cells, then they started to apply stem cells to their field. My background is neurophysiology, but it's also physiology. So the one thing that, to me, from the beginning of this old field of stem cell research, the question that emerged in my mind very early was, if stem cells have such enormous potential in so many different applications, then they're already in the body. So what are they doing there? What is the natural role of stem cells in the body? And I was working with plants that we hypothesized that the way that they're probably working was by stimulating stem cells. And that was really the embryo of the rest of the past 20 years that I have done. So I guess, like many scientists, you just observe, you get aware of the research, and the questions start to come up in your brain, and you just follow the trail. So yeah, that's how it started.
I mean, it's amazing how much it's been. What was it? The early 2000s? Is that what you said? Really, where the science has emerged?
Well, the very, very first study that sort of started to plant the seed here that there was something, that we could do something with stem cells, because stem cells have been known for a long time, but the fact that we can use them the way that we're talking about them today, these studies were published in 1999, then early 2000, and I became aware of this early 2001 with an article that was published calling "Turning Blood into Brain." So I started to really dive into this whole field, early 2001.
Wonderful. So, one thing, as you've been with JEUNESSE now, what, 2 years?
Just very soon, just about 3 years. So about 2 years and a half.
2.5 years. Okay. So again, you came in with obviously a product and with the science behind it, but over the last 2.5 years, you really have been introduced to all of our products. And you talk about the synergy of our products, how our products work together. But can you talk maybe for people who, again, haven't heard that or are new, really, what is the power of maybe blending some of our products together? Because I take Reserve every day, for example. I use the serum on my face every day, for example. I use AM/PM. So what's the benefit maybe of combining our products, and why would I want to use more than one?
It's a great question, Katie, because I think that this is just my personal view. I think that it's one of the greatest secrets of JEUNESSE that is still to a large extent untold, is that while these different products have been developed somewhat independently, when you look at them after and you see how they work in the body, their quality, there is an amazing synergy between these different products. So for example, this is hypothetical, but let's say I develop Revita Blue, and then you ask me, okay, now what would be a good companion product for Revita Blue? I would probably come up with the current products, the product line with JEUNESSE. So for example, you mentioned Luminesse. When we understand how skin really naturally renews, like you do nothing here, how it works in the body is that stem cells are released from the bone marrow, they go to the skin, they renew a layer of stem cells in the skin that is they're not immortal stem cells. So they go through their cycle and they need to be replenished from stem cells coming from the bone marrow. When they arrive in the skin, they proliferate, they multiply, they form this layer, they transform into skin cells, and these skin cells do their job, they mature, they become keratinocytes and all the other cells of the skin. Then they basically die and they flake off, and that's the natural renewal system of the skin. Your skin renews every 3 to 4 weeks, so it's a very active process. Luminesse brings peptides that are going to help attract stem cells from the circulation to the skin, supports their proliferation, supports just the natural role of these stem cells into the skin, is becoming skin cells. So now you add Revita Blue, so you put more stem cells in circulation. So now you have the leverage between these two products. Luminesse already works with stem cells. By putting more in circulation, these two products have a very interesting synergy. Stem cells can migrate into tissues more easily if you reduce oxidative stress in the bloodstream. So you take Reserve and you just reduce oxidative stress. And now not only Reserve contains resveratrol that itself had been shown to support stem cell proliferation and stem cell differentiation in various tissue cells in the body, but on top of this, by reducing oxidative stress, stem cells can migrate in tissues more easily. And you go through all the different products like this, and there's always a very interesting synergy. You mentioned AM/PM. When one stem cell, when it lands into a tissue, can become a few thousand tissue cells. So if you release a few million stem cells with one sachet of Revita Blue, that means several billions, if not tens of billions of tissue cells. So this amplification system requires, there's a huge metabolic demand associated with it. Vitamins and minerals and DNA protection, because the DNA is duplicated in this process. And that's what AM/PM brings. It brings vitamins and minerals and DNA protection. And I can go on like this with pretty much every single product. There is an interesting synergy with these products. If you've tried one before and you have not blended it with others, start to blend them together. Nara, you just talked about Nara. Same thing. As you renew the skin, you need the building blocks of the skin. Take Luminesse, Revita Blue, add Nara to it, and see how your skin will use all these nutrients. Play with them. To me, it's a great synergy.
Another question that I hear asked a lot to you when I'm with you, when you're speaking, people ask questions about the doses. Our recommendation is 1 a day. I know I usually do 2 a day. I do 1 in the morning, I do 1 at night. On a call I did recently with Dr. Giampapa, he brought up a great point saying that bedtime is the time when our body's repairing. So one of his favorite times to take Revita Blue is actually before he goes to bed. So can you talk a little bit about dosages and how much you recommend people to take?
Okay. The reason why the box of Revita Blue says to take only one sachet a day is probably regulatory or in some ways what can be said in different countries. From a purely product standpoint, you can really take as many as you want. I'm not recommending to do it for financial reasons, but I have taken for many years the equivalent of 9 sachets a day, and it's fine. I don't feel jet lag in the same way. With all the traveling, I'm still fine. So I don't recommend necessarily to do it from a financial standpoint, but there's no problem taking more. I would say anywhere between 1 and 3 sachets a day, with the general understanding that 1 is just helping the body just maintain itself. If you've got somewhat of an issue somewhere, maybe you want to boost this a little bit more, so 2 sachets. And if you have a little bit more of a problem, well, give that boost a little stronger to the body, 3 sachets a day. But play with them and see really what works for you. You can take anywhere between 1 and 3 or more if you add the inspiration.
Yeah, what about time of day?
Yeah, it's okay. It's true that we repair during the night, but the thing to understand is that when you release stem cells, they will be in the circulation between 1 to 6 hours. Then they migrate in the tissue. In the tissue, they go through a process of multiplication or proliferation that can take a number of days. Then they differentiate into cells of the tissue. So the cycle, when you take a sachet and it releases stem cells, you've initiated a cycle that will last a few days. Right. So while you repair all the nights that you sleep. So in this whole process, the time that you take the product is not necessarily as important as the time when you repair, because you'll repair at night anyway. So all I can say is that the studies we have done for purely logistical reasons, we've done them in the morning. So all the data that we have is that it's in the morning. Okay. The number of stem cells will peak in your bloodstream naturally early in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock. From all this information, when is the best time? Honestly, I mean, it becomes so easily intellectual. I will say I've heard from people taking these products at all times of the days, and they've all had benefits. So I don't think at the end of the day it matters a lot. I would say what fits the best for you with your lifestyle, just do it that way.
You know, it's probably like everything else. Whatever we do consistently, that is actually what makes a difference, right?
I think I think the best approach is that one.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is it can just sit there on the shelf when we don't use it. So let's just get started, right?
Yeah. If you make a rule to take it in a certain time of the day that doesn't fit for you, then you will not be compliant with it. So I would say just make it fit in your schedule, and in that way it's consistent. That's how you'll get the best results.
That's right. Make it a habit and it's going to start happening.
That's right.
And then we start to see the difference for ourselves, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Another question that we have our field asks quite often, and some of you who are listening live right now, I know some of you you actually asked me if I would ask this to Christian. Some of you out there, you have all sorts of different ailments, and so you might, you have different challenges with your body. And so you have said to me, hey, will you ask him, if I have this, will it help? If I have this, will it help? So I'm not going to go into any, because as obviously we know that our products do not treat diseases, but people have asked me that question. They want me to ask it to you, Christian. So how do you respond when people ask you that?
Honestly, it's the most common question, and the real answer to this question is that we have not done studies on diseases or ailments or problems, for the simple reason that even if we were to do them, this kind of data cannot be used for dietary supplements. So we have not done these studies. So the next question then that somebody asked immediately is, well, do you know somebody who had benefits with this kind of problems? And I have heard so many things over the years. All I can say, and I cannot say that because somebody had benefits that you will have benefits. So it's not ethical to jump to these conclusions. So really the best answer to this question is just to understand really what the product does. The product does only one very simple thing. It supports the natural release of your own stem cells, something that you already do every day. So it just puts a little bit more into the bloodstream. Now your body will use these stem cells the way that your body has used them. You just have a little bit more. Your body has a little bit more to work with. These stem cells can become heart cells, liver cells, lung cells, pancreatic cells, skin cells, joint cells, brain cells. They can literally repair, and maintain anything in the body. So at the end of the day, really the best way to answer this question is to say, give it a try and see what your stem cells can really do for you. And that's really the most honest and the most how could I say, effective answer.
Yeah, no, I love that answer. And really, again, what I would say to our community is that when I hear you speak, when you talk about the science behind these products, you're sharing the very practical facts, the reasons why the ingredients work, the research behind the ingredients, and it makes it so easy to understand. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to recommend to all of you who are out there, give this product a try. This is a great time to try this product. You can get 4 boxes for the price of 2, enough for you and someone in your family to share. It can help maintain a healthy immune system. So this is a great time to give it a try. And Christian, any final words or any final encouragement you'd like to give today?
Well, I think I'm just going to repeat some of the elements that we already talked about, which is, to me, I think that it's great to have the science. It satisfies the brain, it satisfies the mind. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what can it do for you. And you can do that intellectually. So really, the only answer to all these questions is give it a try and see what it can do for you. And I will extend this to the synergy that we talked about. Just give it a try. Blend these products together and do blends that you have not done before. You did Finity before without Revita Blue. Now couple them. There's an amazing synergy between these 2 products. Play with them and really see what they can do for you.
Yeah, and I would give the same encouragement. Give it a try. You will find this has become one of the favorite products in our JEUNESSE family of products. People love it. They feel the difference, and they love sharing it with others. And so, again, now's the time to go out and give it a try. And thank you again, Christian Dupro. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. We love hearing from you and can't wait to see you again in the future and give you a big hug. But for now, it's
my pleasure.
Great to see you on Zoom. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
And everyone, take care today. Have a great Saturday.